Well, hello. I welcome you to this edition of Counselor's Corner. This is our fourth edition, and with this edition, I want to tell you about the second of the five temperaments. Tonight, we're going to look at the choleric very briefly. Now, again, there's five temperaments across the temperament spectrum, and they are, of course, the melancholy, the choleric, the phlegmatic, the supine, and the sanguine. And so tonight, we're at number 2, and it's called the choleric. Now, just as a way of telling you that this is not an exact biography or a description of what a choleric is, it does vary. Most people do not have just one temperament. Most people are a blend of 2 or 3 temperaments across the spectrum. And so when I give you these, this really applies if you are a pure choleric. However, many of these things will apply if you have any choleric within your temperament. And so I'm going to give you 7 strengths that are known for with the choleric and 7 weaknesses. First of all, the choleric is highly task-oriented. They are very focused on getting something done. If you give them a project, they'll get right to it. They're task-oriented, and they operate in that direction. They're also very confident and very optimistic. If you want something done and you want to hear a positive feedback, let's say, on a project, ask a choleric. They're confident. They're optimistic. They will be the ones that will tell you in an office setting or in a relationship that something can be done, as opposed to maybe another temperament where they say something cannot be done. They also have very strong willpower. That goes along with their decision making and being task oriented. They don't get dissuaded easily. They have very strong willpower and very strong focus. Something else that they do, they have great leadership abilities. If you were, let's say, a business and you were trying to hire a manager or someone to run your business, you'd want to look at a choleric because they have great leadership abilities. They could take a situation and they could put a team together to help your business grow. That's a great advantage that cholerics have. Not all the temperaments have that kind of leadership ability. Cholerics are also very highly disciplined. If you say that you want something done or you need something within a certain amount of rules or a certain structure, a choleric very often is someone that you can go to. Or even if you recognize any of these traits in yourself, maybe you have some choleric in you. Maybe you're a person that's highly disciplined. You have to have tasks in front of you. You're not someone that just wanders from one thing to another. You set your mind on a project and you can get it done each step of the way. Very often you may be a choleric or have choleric tendencies if you're doing that. Cholerics are very friendly, they're open, and they're very charming. They tend to be social people, but at the same time, they're social only in situations that are advantageous to them. They're very cautious about who they associate with, but if they're associating with you, you can form a strong bond also. Cholerics, and the last thing I noted here, cholerics can show a great deal of love and affection for the people that they truly care about. That's not a characteristic of all the temperaments. Some are a little more shy. The choleric is not afraid to express their feelings. Now, there's some of the strengths within the choleric temperament, but of course there are some weaknesses. And I want to preface this by saying that a weakness does not always mean that it has to remain a weakness. One of the things that I do as a Christian counselor and that Christian counselors can help you with is taking some of these weaknesses and not leaving them as weaknesses, but how to turn them into something positive, how to use them to continue moving through your life where they don't always have to bring you down. When you think of a strength is something good and a weakness is something bad, that's not necessarily the case. So here's some things that we need to consider when we're talking about the cholerics. First off, of all the 5 temperaments, the choleric has the worst temper. Do you have a worse temper, a bad temper? It's possible you have some choleric in you. They tend to harbor anger sometimes as opposed to other temperaments. If you're a person maybe that, you get angry and you just can't let it go, it's possible you may have some choleric tendencies in you. Now here's something that I found very interesting. A choleric will not tolerate or put up with someone else's weakness. They see that as a total weakness, not as anything positive. And it's because they are so headstrong, because the choleric is so much in charge and they're highly disciplined, they can very easily look down upon somebody else's weakness and tend to run right over that. That's something that you have to be careful about, but there are ways to, of course, counteract that. Cholerics are people users. A choleric, as I said earlier, can organize a whole office. They can put a whole project together, and they will find the people that will work underneath them, because cholerics need to be in charge. They need to be in control, and they will find people that are weaker than them, that are not as resistant, that won't give them a hard time, so that they can call the shots, and they have a team around them that is subservient to them. That can be seen as a weakness too in the choleric. They take over conversations. When you're a choleric, sometimes if you ever have someone, or maybe you do it, someone's talking and you're constantly talking over them, or you're butting in on someone else's conversations, or you're dominating some sort of a social event, it's possible that you have some choleric in you, because that is something that they do. The cholerics, because they work so hard and they work so furious and they are so highly disciplined, they have a tendency, more than the other temperaments, to burn out. Cholerics need to be very careful. If you don't take time off, if you don't step back, if you don't take a deep breath, a choleric can very easily find themselves burned out because they don't know when to stop. And that's something else that we can help in Christian counseling to help you not burn out. There's a lot of people in the workforce, a lot of people in marriages that are just burned out. It could be that they're cholerics too. And another negative or a weakness is cholerics are very self-centered. They want what they want. Their priorities are the biggest priorities. Now, that doesn't necessarily always have to be a weakness. We have it listed as a weakness because if you let it go like that, it could actually turn out to be detrimental. But so that's just a few examples of the strengths and weaknesses with the choleric temperament. Again, all of these would apply if you or someone you know were a pure choleric. There are very, very few pure temperaments around. Most of them are a blend. I know for myself, I'm a blend of two of them in the three areas that we analyze things in. So I just wanted to just come on here and give you a little idea. Maybe you're a choleric. Maybe you'd like to find out more about what we're doing. You can reach us at livinginharmonyministries.org, livinginharmonyministries.org. I can help you find what temperament you are, what combination you are. I can help you with Christian counseling, pastoral counseling, biblical counseling. My schedule has some openings. I am accepting new clients. If you would be interested, please contact me at livinginharmonyministries.org. When you go to our website, you will find blogs that we have put up. You will see videos that we have. There's a place where you can contribute and give and support this ministry, but there's also other information of all these different counseling and different services that we can offer, not only to you, the individual, but also to church bodies. So I encourage you to just stop by when you have a moment at livinginharmonyministries.org. And if you know someone that would be interested, please share this video with them, because we'd like to meet them also. I want to thank you for being part of the broadcast tonight. God bless you.